Okay, since I know Paseko likes to watch these runs, and he's the moderator, I figured I would do a talk oval, no voiceover, whatever you call it. I hate this beginning part, by the way, of Mexico City, where you have to rapidly block everything off before the next business spawns on Tuesday. But I feel like I've gotten a lot better at it. I feel like I've gotten an idea of where the second business spawns, so I can be a little bit more liberal with where I draw my lines or my roads. So I've gotten better at it. I feel like before, when I used to draw or run this map, probably one in probably actually no, three in every five tries I'd have to reset because the business spawned the second one on Tuesday. But I feel like now I'm at like maybe one in every five tries, so maybe two. I've definitely gotten better. So here right now, I'm pretty happy. Um, I opt for a roundabout just because roundabouts help in efficiency. It can be pretty detrimental if I end up having something spawn and I need a tunnel. But I feel like at this point in this game, running this category, you have to do the roundabout for increased efficiency, and hopefully if the gods of mini motorways smile upon me, then the roundabouts that I use will be on the businesses that upgrade. That's the hope. So you notice that I did this weird. I drew this thing a little bit north of the roundabout. It's because I want to update the roundabout, redraw some lines, but I still wanted to make sure that cars were being fed into the business to not lose points, right? You're still gonna probably lose a little bit of points, but on these categories, not including the 100, it doesn't matter as much because you have a lot of time to rack up those points and build really good, efficient roads, which is really what the 100, whether the 1000, 2500 is really about. Is just building as efficient, the most efficient roads as possible, as quickly as possible. Whereas the 100, 250, I mean, that matters, but sometimes it's just about getting the car into the business, and how the fastest road to do that, that you can do it, so here I'm realizing that I'm having a higher demand on the bottom of the house. I'm switching some roads around, but I also noticed I want to break up how many roads are entering the roundabout, so I'm splitting that up. And then I also noticed that, oh look, I have that on the top. I only have two roads, so let me split them in, so I at least have three roads going to the roundabout. Normally I like to have at least three, with the fourth one being the exit to the business. Usually after that I start to not want that. So here, the demand is increasing, so I go ahead and spawn a new business. It's not a good one, honestly. This one, probably, if this was a battle spawn initially, I probably could have beaten Prosecco's 1000, but I didn't beat it this time, because this is going to cause congestion later on. And you'll see that, right? Because one car is having to take a right, and the other one's taking a left, right? But in this initial phase, right, all the houses are to the right, and that's taking time for the cars to reach it, and less points. This is mainly detrimental for the 250. I was really slowed me down. I think the record here is 450. I actually don't know off the top of my head. I think it's 413. I think. And here, as you can see, because of this third house, it slowed me down a little bit. So I'm behind by like 8 seconds. But yeah, so that really prevented this one from getting a record, or getting a close record, close second to the 250. So I'm noticing here that I need to change some demand, change some houses around for demand, right? Top house is having a greater demand because it's upgraded, right? And that means more points, so I want more business, or more calls going into that business. So then there I had an external spawn, but that's an okay one. I've noticed, so I'm a little under the weather. Just got back from a trip, and it's a little bit harder to focus on drawing roads. My focus isn't fully here, um, which has made trying to beat Prosecco's record on this map a little more challenging. But I'll get it eventually. Because the thing about this map is that you really have to draw roads fast, because it can expand pretty quickly, and also messing up on this map with roads can be quite detrimental because of the tunnels, right? You really, like I said earlier, I haven't gotten a tunnel, um, so I really have to make sure I prevent that from happening where I need a tunnel. Get some tea real quick. Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, having preventing something from spawning on the right side because I don't have a tunnel is tantamount. But here I realize, it's time to get that tunnel. I have my two roundabouts, so pick the tunnel. One thing that was interesting is I almost didn't pick the motorway. I think the other option was a roundabout. It was a couple weeks earlier, but I opted just to do it anyway because I'm lazy today. I don't really feel like experimenting like I do sometimes. I couldn't tell if that was a orange accidental spawn, but I think I meant to spawn that. Yeah. So as you see here, I had some really poor spawns with the orange houses, and that's usually because the orange houses like to spawn in the bottom left of this map, but they also sometimes can spawn on the top left, on the right side of the mountain. So what I ended up getting here was initial spawns for houses for the orange business on the bottom left, but the majority of them are for houses on the top right. Well, the orange business can spawn there, but it hasn't spawned, obviously, right? So the road is longer. So then I waited for the motorway, because I didn't have any roads. So yeah, that the orange was a pretty bad spawn, and then the purple was a pretty bad, lavender, magenta, whatever you want to call it, both pretty bad spawns. But every other spawn has been really good. Just those two initial ones, that could have been optimized here. And this is going to likely prevent me from also getting the 1,000 record. Yeah, but maybe that was on me. Maybe I should have spawned the orange house farther to the, or the orange business farther to the left. So if you know what I'm doing here, I'm trying to spawn that orange business because orange businesses can spawn there, but I got unlucky and I got the blue business. So usually the blue business will spawn a little bit farther north. So I thought I was gonna be safe, because usually like that the magenta house above the blue, that's usually where the blue likes to spawn, or maybe a little bit farther to the left. But once you get below that, usually it's more of an orange house. So I was trying to basically take advantage of the orange houses already there to the left. But didn't get lucky though. It happens. So here I just passed the 1,000 mark. I think my time was like 8:18, which is an improvement on my current time by 2 seconds. But I'm gonna go ahead and upload this run because even though it's not a world record, the 2,500 is a world record. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep it in. So here I noticed that I had enough blue houses to spawn, that I probably don't need this motorway. Now, usually if you're running this, you'd want to keep it there because you want to get as many points as possible. But I'm here for the long run at this point. I'm trying to beat my 2,500 time, which I feel like is pretty easily beatable because this map is quite easy to get sub 13, I think. Anyway, so that I spawned a gray house. Not the best spawn, but I'm happy with it. This is kind of like what I always expect. I would say it's about I guess what I'm trying to say. So with how happy I am on the spawn, I'm like 70% happy. Like this is, I'm happy with this spawn. I would say it's a little bit better than the average, but I wouldn't say it's quite average. Maybe almost average. But anyway, stop rambling here. So here I'm putting a light. So usually cars will stop. So driveways for houses, right? they don't stop calls, but they will stop a call if a house, or if a call is going into a house, right, like a driveway. So I went in and I put a traffic light there. I probably honestly could have used more traffic lights too. I didn't really think about it. I'm still trying to get better at using traffic lights, but I put that traffic light there at the end of the grade just to try to speed up the grade because you're the farthest from the business, right? So we went ahead and spawned an orange. It was an accident. I'm pretty sure I goofed there, but it was a pretty okay spawn. So this is kind of what I meant how orange houses like to spawn on the bottom right. This is just one of those spawns. So I'm gonna go ahead and start flipping things. Also right there, I'm really happy I didn't just accidentally delete my motorway. It could have been really bad. Anyway, so I'm switching orange houses. And then just trying to update all the houses, make sure they're all kind of where I want to be. I delete that road to make sure I don't have crossover between the orange businesses because that can kill you. Opt for the motorway just to be safe because at this point I realize I'm at a pretty good time and I think this could beat my record. Well, has a chance to. So here I'm assessing my roads and I'm wondering, should I spawn a business? And I say, yes, I need to spawn a business. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now I'm hoping, usually, a lot of different businesses can spawn here, but I know that there's one that's pretty common. I know a business is common to spawn there, right? So I do that. I get lucky, get some blue spawns, but then I notice that it's not enough because it's false and I have already really high demand. So I have to feed it with the motorway. So that's what I go ahead and do. And I didn't realize at the time what my time was. But it's possible here that I should have held on to what I had and not have spawned anything. And maybe that could have saved me some time. But yeah, I'm not sure. So I realized that so I'm trying to spread out demand with the orange to get a roundabout. So this roundabout, I want to put it somewhere, and obviously you should. But I kind of goofed, and Serotim is pretty good at this. When you put a motorway next to a business, you should put it one away. So if you want to put a roundabout, you can just pop it right over. I didn't do that, so I have to move my motorway. And with how high a demand is right now, I can't do anything about it. So I don't even use it, which is also time loss. But what can you do? Anyway, so that's 12:29. That's the record. Yeah.